Welcome to Mi Gente on Air on 100.5 and 790 News Radio WSGW and online WSGW.com. Now, here is your host, Larry Rodarte.
Good afternoon. Welcome to Mi Gente on Air, the show that brings you Latino culture, Latino concerns, and Latino contributions. And I'm going to be talking today in regard to the legendary, the icon, Carlos Santana. I had him on my show back in 2022. Phenomenal interview for me for my career as a journalist. And he really gave some great insight to his spirituality that the man has. Like I said, he's legendary. And last night I was able to see him at Pine Knob, courtesy of Blue Cross Blue Shield, and along with him, the Doobie Brothers. And it was an incredible concert, believe it or not. And I say believe it or not because, some would say, well, he's been playing for so long and you're just saying that or what have you. But I saw Carlos Santana at Pine Knob in 1981, 45 years ago. The song I'm Winning was out. It was a hit. And he kind of made a comeback at that time in the early 80s from his stuff in the early 70s, late 60s. And that concert was wonderful. I remember feeling good. We actually got to go backstage. But this one last night, man, I feel like he's playing better. Or maybe because it's just fresh in my mind, I don't know. But I wanted to share today some of that experience because I think it's that important that we talk about him. This guy is a legend. He is 78 years old, played Woodstock in 1969 when he was 22. And from what I'm understanding, from what I have read and have asked him questions about Woodstock, they had no idea that it was going to be such a historical, monumental concert. What happened with those 400,000 people that attended Woodstock in New York. And Carlos Santana was not known then. He came on. He was invited with legendary performers such as Janis Joplin. I think Jimi Hendrix was there, yes, and Bob Marley. And there was just some. I'm not sure about Bob Marley. I'm just thinking because the conversation that I had with Carlos Santana a few years ago, and he mentioned Bob Marley quite a bit. He really appreciated his music, but so many people at that time that were listening at first when he played his first two sets, they were like, what is that? What is that? What do you call that kind of music? Because at the time it wasn't labeled. He was playing Africana music, and they didn't have a name for it at the time. Salsa wasn't even named. The name of salsa wasn't even brought up yet, and he just was, on fire. He was on fire, and they really made him a star after that because of he hit with Black Magic Woman, and from 1969 on, you can say the career of Carlos Santana really took off. And he, like I said, had some comebacks with the song I'm Winning in 1981. And then, of course, in 1999, he hit real big with Maria, and Smooth, which I know everybody remembers those hits. So last night, I got to spend time with my niece and her husband, and we were really close to the stage. And to witness the Doobie Brothers as well playing their music, and they sounded great. They sounded phenomenal, just like they did in the 80s. Michael McDonald, such an incredible musician and singer. And they sang all their hits, and it was just one song after the other. And they had great footage in the background. And to be able to witness that and know that this band played for 5 decades, and is a part of the American culture and fabric from those times. It really, really was nice. And to see then Carlos Santana come on with his his wife, Cindy Santana, who is the drummer, she's phenomenal. She's a force within herself, very disciplined and very muscular. And man, when she played those drums, everybody went wild there because it was such a good vibe that she was producing, and it was so long that we're looking at her like, how can she do this? And so there's a picture of me and my niece there, my niece Rachel, and it was really nice to spend time with her and to be able to experience this because I had to explain some things to her, in regards to Santana because she's in her 30s, and I knew a lot of the history and experienced some things that she did and her generation hadn't, unless you're a really big diehard Santana fan. And so that was really nice to experience that with her, and you could see me there in the crowd just having a great time. And what's amazing to me is that at 78 years old, Santana is still selling out these venues like Pine Knob. And it's really nice to see that him, along with the Doobie Brothers, brought out the crowd last night. It was a warm summer day. Actually, I thought it was going to be cold, and the sun came out, and it was really warm out. Actually, down there with all those people. So, Pine Knob just does a wonderful job in putting on these concerts still. And I remember going back there, like I said, in 1981 to that venue. And they had a name change and all, but then they went back to the original name of Pine Knob. So that's kind of neat that that has transpired as well, back to the original name. I got to say, when he sang Oye Como Va and then segued into Maria Maria, man, that was a highlight of last night. To hear that cultural, the Latino culture in the music, the vibe that was just present in Pine Knob was just amazing. And I wrote on a post on Facebook where I said that, to hear Maria Maria, that song that came out in 1999, the name itself, Maria, evokes Latino culturalism. And to him give an ode to West Side Story and Rita Moreno, to me, it's to Rita Moreno, what she represented with that movie so long ago. It's just the groove. It makes you move. It's such a cultural highlight for me that I said that it made me want to go to Maria's restaurant on State Street and have huevos rancheros. And that's what I actually did today. And I was talking to Maria about the concert as well. But so it was really nice. And at one point, Carlos Santana, he called on the Doobie Brothers to play a set with them. And he talked about peace in the world, that healing that we so need at this time, And I want to play a little bit of that, what he actually said. I hope you can understand and hear this. And this is Carlos Santana from last night at Pine Knob. Let me see if I can bring that up. For some reason, it's not playing.
There was something wonderful about the hippies, with the...
Oh, somebody was calling me on my phone, and I'm here recording, trying to do this. Please don't call me on my phone at this time. But let me bring that up again. There's always technical difficulties when you're trying to do something.
Hippies, with the patchouli oil and some good weed and honey and granola. This to me, this music frequency, this musicians, this is what the nation, families, and the world needs. Healing. The opposite of unity, harmony, and oneness is an infection, And we must heal it because when it's all said and done, we are all one. So speaking of healing, just about something that you can remember.
So yeah, that was Carlos Santana last night, and he talking about unity for our country and through music. That the frequency that the musicians were playing is really, something to unify. Music is the great unifier. We all know this, and he is on a mission along with the Doobie Brothers on this oneness tour. That's why he said, we're all one. It's a oneness tour to bring people together and unify, because they felt that in our country right now we really need unity and unification. So that was quite a moment to hear them play together, these great iconic musicians from the 60s and 70s, still jamming, still enjoying what they're doing. And it was an incredible night. Musically, I think it was one of the best concerts that I've seen. And I've seen a lot through the years, of course. But when Carlos Santana went on, it was nonstop. They never took a break. They played for about close to 2 hours, maybe an hour and 40 minutes. And it was nonstop. There was no breaks. It was one song segued into the other. And they had two singers on there that were singing his biggest hits. And it was really something, I got to tell you, to be able to hear, again, Maria Maria, and the part where it says, played by Carlos Santana, that part. And then Carlos Santana going into his riff on the guitar, and it was speaking to us. I mean, it was an incredible moment to experience that firsthand. And it was just a beautiful moment for me with my niece and my nephew, and to be able to experience all that. And we had a phenomenal time. So thank you to Blue Cross Blue Shield, who provided those tickets, the VIP tickets for me. And we had a wonderful time. So we're going to talk next, of course, of what's happening in the community, in our local community, which is really something to have so many of these events back to back, because we have this great concert over at Pine Knob. We have the Loons baseball game tonight, celebrating Latino contributions in baseball. And then tomorrow we have the Juneteenth parade in downtown Saginaw, which is going to be on Washington Street. And I'm so glad that the Unión Cívica Mexicana is going to be participating in this Juneteenth parade as well, because my good friend and colleague here at Connoisseur Media, Kareem Bowen, asked me to be in the parade this year, and I said yes, I would. And so the Unión Cívica Mexicana is coming out, and our queen is going to be in the parade. So come on out tomorrow. The parade, I think, starts around 10:30ish, and it's going to go running down Washington Avenue. And the importance of that parade, it's a big thing, because, the Emancipation Proclamation is such a big, vital part of our history, especially at a time today when we see so much going on with demonizing, I should say, people of color. And so it's really important that we come together, unify, and support this in our local community as well as throughout the United States. And my guest today, who's going to come on the show and talk with us a little bit help me talk about what's going on with the community, because she's a part of it, is Dolores Cameron. She is part of the Unión Cívica Mexicana, and she really did some wonderful work in regards to the parade, the Cinco de Mayo parade, the last 2 years. So I invited her to be a guest on my show, because it's really nice to see that the Loons in Midland, the baseball team, they're celebrating Latino contributions in baseball, as well as partnering with us, the Unión Cívica Mexicana, and the lead organization. And I had Donnie Tenayuki on the show, who's the president of LEAD, and we talked all about this event. And they've asked Dolores to throw the first pitch. So what an honor for her to be able to throw this first pitch. I know she's been practicing, and her arm was getting a little sore. And I'm really proud of her that she's going forth and, throwing that first pitch, representing all of us, representing the Latinos in Saginaw. representing the Unión Cívica Mexicana, and just representing our culture. And it's amazing to me, and I don't know if she's on there yet or not. I need Dolores to sign on so that we can talk with her, and I'm kind of calling her out here. I hope that she is able to do that on her phone, because we want to hear from you, Dolores. Where are you? But today we're going to be going over to the Loons baseball field, the Dow Diamond, and there will be some tables set up where you will see like an ofrenda for Dia de los Muertos that LEAD is putting up. There'll be a table for the Unión Cívica with some of their history and pictures, representing who we are. In the Dow Diamond and the Loons, the Great Lakes Loons, have done a wonderful job for many years in representing and honoring the contributions of the local Hispanic groups. I know the Great Lakes Bay Leadership Institute has been involved. My cousin Frank Medell played many years as a DJ out on the field. They've had dancers, folkloric dancers on the field. They have had Roxanne Chantaka sing the national anthem on the field, just like she did at the Detroit Tigers Latino Day Fiesta Tigres. Remember that? They still have that as well. And then the Loons, has invited different organizations within our community to be a part of this day in celebration. They've even gone as far as having a tamale contest at one point and serving tamales. So there's going to be some good foods out there at the Dow Diamond, and it's going to be a really nice event. So we're still waiting on Dolores Cameron. I need to speak to her about being a little more prompt. Sorry to call you out like that, cuz, but I'm here in the waiting wings of this program, waiting for you because you're my guest today, and we're going to talk about the Loons and your contributions tonight at throwing the first pitch. So come on, Dolores, we need you. And it's funny because she's always so up and gets our membership going to want to participate in events like this. And I know that we've got over 20 Unión Cívica members going out there to the field tonight to root her on and root on the Latino baseball players that are with the Loons, and just root on the whole idea that we have a really nice, great community baseball league that is doing great things, that is associated with the Los Angeles baseball team. So hey, Dolores is on finally. She was a little bit late. There she is, and where were you? And I'm calling you out because I'm scrambling here trying to bring you on and introduce you and still talk. Where were you right now?
I'm actually just got done over about 6 or 7 inboxes about tonight's game. People are asking me so many questions, and I'm like, okay, yeah. So I was responding to people's inboxes. All
right. Well, I'll let you slide for that reason, because we love that people are excited and we're going. And I just told my audience that there's over 20 Unión Cívica members that are going to be attending and rooting you on there tonight. And we even got T-shirts that were done, new T-shirts, red T-shirts with the Civica logo on there. And Dolores also put that together for us as an organization so that we don't have to keep buying T-shirts for every event that we put on. We're going to have kind of a one T-shirt with our logo that we're going to start wearing as Civica All-Stars. So, Dolores, how excited are you for tonight here with throwing the first pitch?
Man, I'm so pumped. I never would have thought I would be throwing for the Loons. I mean, I like the Loons. I even had a memory from my Facebook. I was actually in the audience, and when Cop King got invited to do the event, so we helped serve food at this type of event. To actually be now throwing a pitch at this event is very exciting. Yeah. Very exciting.
We're so proud of you because of your efforts, really pumping up the Cinco de Mayo and getting over 100 entrants. And the can't say it enough, the Cinco de Mayo parade was amazing this year. And Lotus has done it for 2 years now. And tell me, how have you prepared yourself for tonight? I know
I've
you've
been
been practicing.
Yeah. My grandson tells me, he's like, Nana, you're almost there. And I'm like, okay, okay, but it's all fun and games. I'm just going to go out there and throw the best pitch that I can throw. If it's a strike, it's a strike. If it's a ball out of this park, it's a ball out of this park. But yeah, I'm definitely super pumped up. I hope, like a lot of my friends plan on being there. It's just for fun. I mean, it's very exciting. I'm very honored. After the Cinco de Mayo parade that we put on this year, as an organization, I'm very honored to be chosen to do this pitch.
Yes, yes, and it's exciting that so many of our members are going out to the field as well, and that many of your friends will be out there. And I know that there was a previous pitcher, I can't remember who it exactly was, but they threw the pitch and they actually stumbled and kind of fell. So please don't do that tonight, Dolores.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna do well. You're gonna knock it out. We're all gonna be cheering for you, and it's gonna be exciting for all of us to participate because you're representing all of us in not only the Civica but the community in baseball, Latino recognition in baseball. So we're gonna go into commercial real quick. We'll be right back with Dolores Cameron, and we're gonna talk Loons baseball.
4.99% for
This is Mi Gente on Air on WSGW.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to Mi Gente on Air. I am your host, Larry Rodarte, and it's such a pleasure to be with you here this Friday afternoon. And we have a lot going on in our community in Saginaw as well as throughout the state of Michigan. And, I talked a little bit about the Santana concert last night with the Doobie Brothers at Pine Knob. It was phenomenal to experience that cultural uplift, if you will, from Carlos Santana, a legend. And then today we have the Loons baseball game happening in Midland, Michigan at the Dow Diamond. They're going to be celebrating the contributions of the Latino baseball players, as well as honoring the Unión Cívica Mexicana for their commitment as a nonprofit organization in our community. Dolores Cameron Vasquez Cameron, I should say. She's my guest, and we're going to talk more with her in regards to that. And then I have to also mention that the Juneteenth parade is happening tomorrow morning in Saginaw, coming down Washington Avenue, and Dolores is going to be driving the queen of the Unión Cívica Mexicana. So she's got her yellow Mustang convertible that's going to be in the parade, and she's just doing so much. And then the following day, we're going to be over in Lansing for the Tejano Lansing Fiesta. Can you believe that? And Dolores will be there again. She's going to be helping Cobb King, serve his elotes. And then there's many of us from the Civica All-Stars that are going to be there for the Tejano explosion with Motivo and Grupo Ilusión. It's just going to be a wonderful, wonderful night. So, there's just a lot happening in the community.
Yes.
And I took the days off from selling patitos because I'm exhausted, believe it or not. And it's the drives, the driving from Lansing to to Midland, and driving to Pine Knob and getting home at 2 a.m. So it's a lot. But tell me, Dolores, because we were just talking about this on the break, what would you say to some young individual or individuals who are contemplating on whether or not to get involved with a local organization such as the Civica, such as La Misión, such as the Mexican American Council? What would you say to them? Because now you've been with us with the Unión Cívica for a good, 4 years or so? And tell me how you got involved and why you got involved, and what have you experienced from that?
I got involved because I wanted to know a little more about my culture, and the organization, my Thea Joanne, has been a part of it
Forever.
Yes, forever. And I was talking to her when she was telling me how the organization, helps out, and she's learned so much about different, especially you, Larry. I've learned so much about my family history, about, the founders of the La Una Civica, the queens, what they mean. And it's just a whole different different atmosphere than normal for me. That is, because I mean, I'm starting to learn a little Spanish, but
Oh, girl.
yeah, just a little. But anyway, so like, I mean, I love it. I love it. And any young Hispanic boy, girl that wants to learn what we do, you're more than welcome. We come as together as we call each other. Oh, that's my Civica sister. That's my Civica brother. I mean, we're family. We're more not friends. We're family in there. Like I said, it's more than hall rentals, guys. It is it. If you really want to be part of like special events. Like we do a lot of events. The La Una Civica, we have Taco Fest coming up. We have this annual Cinco de Mayo we do every year. We have, you know, St. Patrick's Day dances, Valentine's
Dia
dances.
de los
Um,
Muertos celebration,
yes.
tamale taste off,
Mm-hmm.
a
And
lot.
we introduce a lot of local bands. I mean, they get opportunity to play in front of us and play in front of a huge audience. I mean, like I said, I've never, I'm not lying, heard so much Mexican music in my life, but it feels so good. It's so different to know like who my aunt was and who my grandma Diaz was. I mean, it's a lot. It's a lot, but it's great information. Great information.
Yes, and it was wonderful for you to be the parade coordinator for Cinco de Mayo and have your Aunt Della, who's 94, almost 95 years old, si Dios quiere, in 2 months, be the grand marshal for a parade that you're leading up. I mean, how incredible is that? I mean, there's a lot of firsts, here, Dolores, that you can check off a bucket list that you probably never had on your list. I saw a post where you said you never thought that you would be given a first pitch at a baseball game. Well, that you can check off. And there was another one that I was thinking about recently. Wow, it's a first for her to be doing this as well. Not only leading up a parade,
Hmm.
but to galvanize it and make it a really beautiful parade that had over 100 entrants. And the sun came out, and it was just so wonderful for not only our organization or our community, but our community at large. And I hope that's what happens here with the Juneteenth parade tomorrow. Kareem Bowen, my colleague here at Connoisseur Media, I had him on my show. We talked about the Juneteenth and what that meant to this community. And so he invited me. He says, I want you to be there this year, Larry. And I said, okay, I'm going to be there. So I'm going to be there. I'm going to be in the parade as well with the Unión Cívica Mexicana. And, it's such an important part of our culture and history here in Saginaw because, I like to say this, and I've said it before, starting in the 90s, when Mi Gente was involved with putting on putting on events, and then being involved with the Civica. Saginaw's got it going on. Saginaw
They
has a
do.
lot going on. If you compare us to other communities, not just in Michigan, I'm saying across the United States, because of our second, third, fourth generation of Latinos here in this community, we have the idea, the education, the wherewithal to put on these types of events to celebrate and make sure that we are being recognized, our contributions, as well as just playing out the idea that, what, our culture is beautiful and we're ready to shine. We're ready to, spread that out to the masses. And so, when a community is diverse, as we are in Saginaw, it's
Mm-hmm.
wonderful and we're stronger to be diverse. So, what do you think of that, Dolores?
Speaking of that, like you said, I did the parade to this. That was my second year. This year was my second year. The first year I learned, how to bring diversity into our parade, and what works and what don't. And when you were talking about Theodella being Grand Marshal, I was thinking to myself, you know what? Last year I was like, what can I do this year to make it even better? And when we were thinking about the Grand Marshal, I was like, you know what? I was looking through, Facebook, and it was boggling my mind. I was trying to figure out, looking at all the great Hispanic leaders that we have in our community. And I just, Theodella just stuck out in my head. Like, I was looking at the videos of, past things she's done. And it was like, there was a no-brainer. Just like I'm going to keep it secret, but next year's Grand Marshal is going to be even more.
Well,
as I'm learning.
The history that you see that she, puts out there, almost 100 years of history in Saginaw, because she was actually born in Saginaw over in the First Ward area across from the Gray Iron Plant on 23rd Street. And for her to share that and be able to be of sound mind at her age and to express and to share it with all of us, that's a God's gift to all of us, in our community, to be able to witness that, because she represents not only her and her family, but she represents my mom, she represents your mom, your grandma, she represents all of our elders, the giants that came before us. And so thank you, Aunt Della, for being a part of that. And Dolores, let's get back to the loons, because it's really important, because it's happening today, believe it or not. We encourage everybody to go out there. They got general admission tickets for $12 still. But Matt DeFries over at the loons, he was he was a part of bringing this to fruition, and asked us to participate and be a part of it. And the loons, what are you doing to represent the Civica tonight, besides just throwing the first pitch? But you've got something in store with putting up a table, I understand?
Yes, we will have tables put up. If you got questions about our organization, how to join our organization, we'll have a red table out there. Look for the Civica banner. We'll have that, and we're there. We're going to have some members sitting around just in case somebody had questions or anything like that. Doors, I believe, open at 5. I'm believing they open at 5 or 6. One of them, they start opening. Like you said, admission's $12. Seats are only $17 too. I mean, everything's under $20. We got a lead that's going to be there with kids' face paintings, kids' activities. Matt's having fireworks tonight too. I don't have the name of the band. Larry, do you have the name of the band?
Yes, it is Estrellas de Oro from the Grand Rapids area. Estrellas de Oro, a long-time Tejano band that does a wonderful job, and they have been traveling down to Texas quite a bit and playing down there and representing. And I believe they just recently won an award, a Conjunto Award as well, down in Texas. So shout out to Grupo Estrellas de Oro. They'll be there tonight at the ballpark playing as well.
Yep,
So there's a lot. There's just a lot that's going to be happening, representing our culture. And and the food. You're going to be there working it too, right? Or is Cobb King out there this year?
Cobb King's in Lansing.
They're going to be in Lansing, yeah. All right, so that's a good way to segue into Lansing, talking about Lansing. We talked about the show last year. Daniel Ferreira came on and talked about the Lansing Fiesta. Tomorrow, it's happening today, but it's also happening tomorrow, the big Lansing Tejano Explosion. That's going to be with Motivo, Grupo Ilusión, and Tejano Heat. 3 bands that are going to be at the festival. You can go early. You can participate with, they got a whole carnival happening, as well as really good food. Cobb King, like we said, is going to be there. Vamos Vargas is going to be there from Saginaw. There's some other ones. I hear one from Detroit. One from maybe Pontiac, that they sell really incredible tacos, so that's the whole reason to go there.
I don't know. When I was there last year and got away for a second. There's so many food trucks. I mean, Lansing Fiesta is a nice fiesta. I mean, Cop King won a car last year.
Yeah, a car.
A car. So they're giving away a car again. With the entry fee. So they have that. But Saturday is their biggest day. Saturday is their biggest day of their fiesta. So, yeah, you might want to get there early. Parking's crazy. So you definitely want to get there early.
And
Shout out to Lansing.
that's really nice that James Garza from Saginaw, who has been serving the Saginaw community with his elotes for a number of years. I think how many years has it been at the Cinco de Mayo? Like 15 years.
15.
And he's able to share his cultural culinary aspect with the Lansing community, to be able to have that traditional Mexican corn for the Lansing community as well, and those that who are coming from all over. They're going to be eating up elotes. I mean, what's a festival without an elote?
Yeah, they have a elote eating contest on Saturday and a hot pepper chicken wing eating contest. So there's a couple of contests that are going on Saturday. That's why I said Saturday is a big one.
Yeah, yeah. So Dolores somehow got off the feed right now, and I don't know what happened. Somebody probably called her in on her phone, but
There we go.
There you go.
My daughter's trying to get it to me.
Yeah. So the thing is, check this out. Dolores Vasquez, that's her maiden name. She married Cameron, and so now she's Dolores Vasquez Cameron. I call her Cassell. I always know her as Cassell. Sometimes I call her D now. I don't know why, because we got another member, Dolores Garcia, we call D at the Civic, and it confuses me all the time. But Dolores is going to be at the Loons baseball game tonight, right? And
Yes.
she's going to then wake up in the morning and be in the Juneteenth parade, drive her yellow Camaro with black stripes, and driving the Civic Queen, okay? And then she's going to Lansing Fiesta at night. So you're real busy these next 2 days.
Man, I am.
There's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot going on happening, but it's all in celebration of our Latino culture. And I want to encourage everybody to try to go and attend these events and all. This is wonderful. This is wonderful for our diversity in our community, for Juneteenth, our African American brothers and sisters, and us participating this year. I know that they have talked with you, Dolores, and this is their third annual, I believe, and it's hard to get a parade off the ground, believe it or not. So I'm really hoping for it. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yes, the backside of the parade. I mean, people think, oh, you just get in the street and you march. No, it's not that simple. With dealing with over 100 applicants this year, I really felt it. I mean, I really felt it, but thank goodness for my volunteers. Shout out to them, all 12 of them. This is their second year they've been with me, my volunteers. So as it grew, and it definitely grew this year, I'm expecting next year to be even bigger, because I've gotten so much feedback from my parade where people were already inboxing me. I'm in it next year. I'm in it next year. Please keep my information when it's time. I start working on the parade in December, January. So applications are already going out in January. I got some big things in store this year, and then some different things that I want to do this year. But showing the diversity in my parade, it's awesome. It was awesome.
Well, I hope that we continue on, as the organization, as we march to the 50th anniversary of the Cinco de Mayo. Can you imagine? That's only in 2 years.
Wow.
After 2 years that the parade began in 1980. Crucita Diaz was Crucita Castillo at the time. She wasn't even married to Joaquin Diaz, and she was going around knocking on doors, trying to get people involved with putting on a Cinco de Mayo parade for Saginaw. She felt it was that important, and she did it. She got it off the ground. I remember attending. I remember being in the first parade with my cousin Paulino Orozco was in it as well. And it was incredible. It was very small. It was kind of like how the Juneteenth started, believe it or not. We had maybe less than 20 entries, and but we did it. We went forth, and look at us today, with such a grand celebration for the city of Saginaw. And I put the
Number one in Michigan.
Number
one in Michigan.
Yeah, I put the Cinco de Mayo right up there. The diversity that it brings to the table of our greater, larger community, like the Greek festival, like the St. Patty's Day Festival in Bay City, the Cinco de Mayo. It's all part of what makes the Great Lakes Bay region a great community. And, and then you got Mount Pleasant over there that's added to, and they bring great shows, with the Soaring Eagle Casino. And so there's a lot happening. And not only does Saginaw got it going on, but the Great Lakes Bay region has it going on, right? So congratulations to all of us that are participating and involved. And, from the bystanders who are watching the parade tomorrow, as well as those who are participating, we say, go ahead, go forward, let's go. Juneteenth parade, because the Emancipation Proclamation was a huge event in our history of this nation, and we support it and honor it, and we celebrate our freedom right here on the 250th anniversary of these United States of America. So, Dolores, what else do you want to say in regards to your participation tonight with the Loons?
Just guys, come on out. Like I said, everybody's been inboxing me about stuff. Remember, it's kid friendly. There's going to be band playing. Bring your dancing shoes, because we have a good time. It's Cinco de Mayo all over again, but in a loon's way.
In a loon's way, yeah. Louis Loon will be wearing a serape as well.
Yes, he does. He wears a serape. So we have that. 7 o'clock, first pitch, which is me. And then 7:05, they're ready to rock and roll in the game. We're gonna go. We want to cheer on the Loons. And fireworks is to follow right after the game. So we don't want to miss that. Bring them kids out, have them enjoy. Like I said, Lita have some kids stuff out there, activities. We'll be at the red table. We'll have all the answers to all your questions that you want to know. If you want to know about Taco Fest, Tamale Fest, any of that type of stuff, we'll have the new Gente magazine. You can come and grab your copy. We'll have that on the table. You can see some of the old Gentes. I have a few of those that I brought out. So definitely bring out the family, bring good vibes, and let's have some fun tonight.
Yes. And there's a picture of Louis Loon there with his serape. I think that's pretty awesome that they're doing that. And, to have Lead also bringing with Deacon Larry Gaiton and his daughter, they're going to be putting up an ofrenda for Dia de los Muertos to share and bring knowledge about that holiday within our culture of, the Day of the Dead. And that's become a huge thing as well in our community. So thank you, everybody, for watching my show today. And thank you to Dolores Vasquez.
Welcome. See you guys.
We'll see you tonight, Dolores. And be ready to throw that first pitch and make sure that you're not going to embarrass us, right? And so you're going to do great. I know you will. But thank you, everybody. I wanted to get that picture off, Matt. But it's so important that we actually celebrate and support these events that are happening in our community, and supporting all the positivity. Let's go forward. Let's be positive. Let's have a wonderful weekend, everybody. And I wish you well. And I wish Dolores to be throwing the strongest first pitch that she's ever pitched in her life. Let's go Loons. Yes. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for being on the show and listening and tuning in. We'll see you next week here on Mi Gente on Air.
Saving money on everything you need.